when you have a press conference and it seemed like what we talked 2 hours ago, we have had a chance to watch the video. Not much is going to change from what I thought during the game. As I said yesterday, when you do have disappointment like that, the good part is you get to play a game sooner than normal. So this Thursday game can be a blessing in disguise a little bit. Realize who we're playing. Only undefeated football team in football, and you start watching them, you see why. All three phases. Statistics are top of the league. Offensively, defensively, do a good job protecting the football. Number one, taking the football away. A lot of things that lead to wins. Jalen Hurts is just playing outstanding football. And then, it starts a lot of times with, what the quarterback is doing. Running backs, good football player. Fletcher Cox has been one of the best players in the league for a long period of time. So we realize the challenge we have. Excited about the Bell Red game for us. New helmets, jerseys, some different things that the guys will see for the first time. Take your question.
Can you review Davis's performance? What do you look at still as a function in a lot of the pass rush and maybe some out of sync things, or do you look at it any differently after reviewing? What are your sort of takeaways?
No, I think similar to what I said yesterday. I said they won the game up front on both sides of the football. It makes it hard for the quarterback to function, for the running game to get going. Feel the same way right now. That's not saying that Davis played his best game. Most of us on the football team didn't play our best game, so we have a say in that.
Lovie, what was the reason behind taking Jonathan Owens out in the second half?
In the second half, if we take a player out, we feel like he's not maybe doing something we would like for him to do, and we think that we should look at a different option at the time. Who do we put in?
I think Murray.
Eric Murray played an outstanding game. Came in. Some days we got a baseball team playing. Sometimes you need to bring in a relief hitter. I think you need to do that in football sometimes too, and that's what we did with it. Jonathan's still our starter and all that. But the move we made yesterday, Eric came in and tackled well.
With the offense running through the run game, whenever that's not there, it seems like that's where a lot of the problems come from. Are there ways to find other answers beyond that whenever the run game isn't there? What are kind of your discussions with Pep about that?
No, I mean, it's the run and the pass game starting off right away. I think running the ball well helps the passing game, but it's not just, hey, we got to run and it's run and work. And no, it's a combination of both. It's just, I think, most teams are defined by the run or the pass. And on, normal downs, most teams would like for the run to be a part of that. So it's no more than that. You need to be able to get them both going. And yesterday, run or pass, we were able to get them going.
You look at a team like the Eagles. A couple of years ago, they were a rebuilding franchise, and now they're undefeated.
I like the questioning that we're heading this direction. Keep going. Yeah.
And now they're a team who, especially on the offensive side of the ball, they have, like you said, the numbers earlier. Is that where you see you all potentially heading?
We would like to be heading in that direction. Absolutely. But I think it is good to look at history a little bit on things that, have happened in our league and how things we would all like for it to happen right away. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but you stay the course, keep trying to improve. Every time you play a game, you find something maybe different that you didn't know, and that's what we're going through right now. I think most of the time I've come up here, I've talked about we had a great chance of winning that game. I thought the Titans were in control, even though the score was down. I thought they were definitely the better team yesterday. That was a learning experience in a lot of different ways.
Have you decided whether you'll continue to start the rookies there at the defensive tackle, Booker and Kurt Heinisch, and do you anticipate any other changes in particular on defense?
Oh, I think we're still going through that. We're going to play the guys we think give us the best chance. And if there's back to the initial question, if we take somebody out, we think that we need to look at someone else. And the rookies, that's who we have right now. and those guys had their moments too. But when the Malik Collins and Mike Dwanford, some of the guys that normally play Jonathan Grenards aren't out there, it's the next guy's time to step up. And sometimes the play isn't always exactly where we want it to be, but it'll get better as they keep playing.
Do you think there's some hope that Malik and Nico with the short week, or do you think it would be tough to do it if they weren't able to play Sunday to come back in the position?
Well, I think, of course, it'll be harder. You had a few more days. They would, be in a little bit better position to play maybe. But, as we look at injuries, we knew when they got hurt, and we knew that this game was coming up. So for some of the guys, maybe we kept them out a little bit longer, before. So, it would help if there was more time, but we won't put any of the guys out there until they're ready to go, and we'll see how it goes. I know their rehab is coming along well.
You mentioned the injuries led to a lot of the rookies playing. 8 on Sunday is the most that this team's ever fielded at once and starting. Did you expect that it would end up this way, and how do you kind of balance?
Well, no. The reason why some of the rookies, why they're playing, is because of injuries. No, you don't plan on that, but if a guy is on the 53 or the 70-man roster, there's a chance. Now, I'd say that eventually some of them will play. Maybe, I didn't know the number was 8, maybe not all at the same time, but that's a part of it too. I know all these guys that play, we like them, and they're going to be good football players.
Go ahead.
And to follow on that, how much of that, what does that say about the team, how y'all are trying to coach it in the rest of the season? Because there's a developmental part of rookies as they're growing up in real time, and for a lot of them to be on the field at once, how do you approach that as a coach?
Well, you asked about the developmental part last week, and what I said then is that we're not in the development stage. Yeah, we want guys to develop, but what's the best option that we have to try to win the football game? It's no more than that. As you're playing young guys, they are going to develop and get better each time they play, but don't look any farther than that with it.
Is Javier trending toward
Is who?
Is Javier Thomas trending? Am I saying it wrong? Tavier?
Oh, Tavier Thomas. Okay. Tavier. Now, what'd you say about him?
Is Tavier trending toward being able to, after having last week practice, do you feel good about Thursday?
Yes, I think you can look at our, the pattern that we're going a little bit. Yes, he is. He was able to practice last week. Tegan was also able to practice last week. So they're trending in that direction, yes.
From a professional standpoint, these players, they're here to get paid. Professionally, it's still a business. But on a humanistic side, some of these players were here last year during the rebuilding phase. They're here this year. Wasn't really successful last year as far as the record is concerned, and now the record is kind of similar to what it was. From a humanistic standpoint, how do you keep the morale up?
Oh, God, it's pretty deep looking into it that much. We have a season that you play football, and you're paid to do that. You do your job then. In NFL, most things don't stay the same. It's kind of simple as that. And that's just a part of how the game goes. It's hard to keep a group, the majority of the group, intact for long periods of time. We're no different than anybody else. And I don't think guys look much farther than, hopefully they're not looking much farther than, the Philadelphia Eagles coming in a few days.
The Eagles, Jalen Hurts has been a lot better in particular because they've been able to add, A.J. Brown and have really good receivers. Have you seen a recent trend in that as far as receivers? When teams add receivers, have you seen a recent trend in that, and how important is it to have multiple guys?
Well, it's important to have multiple guys, and Jonathan, if you're asking, do quarterbacks play better when they get better receivers? Yeah, I'd say that's a big part. It's a big part of it. But just looking at Jalen Hurts' development, Brooks' development, Jalen Hurts' development, last year we've seen that development throughout. You have to be patient, with quarterbacks a little bit, the ones that have all the things you're looking for. And I just know I've seen him get better and better throughout, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in football right now. It's good to see a pattern on how you do things.
As a head coach, how nerve-wracking is it around trade deadline?
at what's going on right now. I know the Astros are playing this week, and I know for us, on a personal note, Philadelphia is coming into town. And when I say that, just think about we talked about getting players when you have a few days. Just think about preparing, getting game plan together. All of your thoughts immediately went from that game yesterday, started yesterday, to trying to prepare the team right now. So there's no more than that.
Coach, can you talk about the dynamic between Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders, how they play offensively, what you've seen from them? And is there a team that you faced earlier this year that you can kind of draw a comparison to with that run pass option they have?
Yeah, I think you can. The Bears, I would say, a little bit, quarterback-wise. But Jalen Hurts, I would say, is not more. I mean, he's outstanding passer, outstanding thrower on what we're seeing from him, but had a running game to back that up. I'm just talking about the athlete at the quarterback position brings another dimension of them taking off and running the football. A part of why they're one of the best rushing teams is based on what they do at running the ball at the quarterback position too. Miles Sanders, just an excellent player. Size, you assume. What's his weight? Yeah, you would smaller guy. It's almost 220-pound guy. Good size, can make you miss in the open field, can catch the ball out of the backfield. My point is, whenever you have an athlete like that can do multiple things, you put the quarterback into the mix. That's really hard. But why Philadelphia is so hard is what they do passing the football too with their receivers. We hadn't talked about the former Heisman Trophy winner. We hadn't talked about, and there a guy, A.J. Brown, is he there? I think he's there too. You can go down tight end wise, best tight ends in football, especially catching the football. You bring all those things into it. It's a pretty special offense.
How much stress can you put on communication in terms of when they go to that triple option type of run where sometimes they'll do like an RPO with a slam over, sometimes an RPO with a bubble. How much will you stress communication to make sure everybody's where they need to be?
Well, the communication, that's a base part of what they do. Your key should tell you that. It'll take you to the ball and what we do. We'll mix up coverages to try to, if we think that they're doing specific things like we do always, but you have to have sound defenses that take care of those situations, and you know that they're coming as much as anything. That's a change from a traditional week of more. I would say that they're going to run more RPOs than any other team we played. And that's what we're getting ready for.
You mentioned rotating players to get better play on defense. You guys have some injuries with the deadline tomorrow. Have you talked with Nick about acquiring anybody kind of at the deadline here to help you guys out on the roster?
You want me to? You asking? Let me tell you what Nick and I talk about. Is that the question? Yeah. Nick and I talk always.
However you can say.
Yeah. Nick and I talk always about it. We're always trying to improve our ball club. Yes. But, we're always talking to improve the ball club. But, I say there's a lot of things going on. That's no different. I know the trade deadline is coming up, but we're always talking about improving our ball club. We have guys working out weekly. You're always looking for ways to do that.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thanks.